Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
6 minutes after 11 o'clock. I don't know how many of you think about this, but whenever we talk about sexual issues, and we're about to do it again, we were just talking about sexual health issues that impact women, and Dr. Christopher Asandra is on the phone from NuMale Medical Center down in the Villages, as well as some other locations. And when you talk about your heart, when you talk about your kidneys, you talk about your legs, nobody seems to have any reluctance in explaining what's going on. But when it comes to sexual issues, we have this, because sex has such a, I don't know, it's got this envelope around it, or this cocoon, and we don't know how to approach it. And I'm thinking that makes it really difficult for doctors. I've often thought, for example, that a veterinarian has a harder job than a human doctor, because the veterinarian can't ask the dog what's going on. Mm-hmm. And if you are, as a human being, have trouble talking about what's going on with yourself sexually, I'm guessing that's just as bad as not saying anything at all. You know, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does.
Dr. Asandra,
yeah,
thank you for being on the air with us today. Good morning.
Thank you. I kind of sorry to interrupt you, Larry. I hear this all the time from patients, and they come up to me and they say, you know what, I'm just too embarrassed to talk to this about my doctor, but it's a problem that really affects me, and it's taking a toll on my relationship with my significant other, my wife, my spouse, whoever it may be. And I don't know why there's, like you're saying, I don't know why there's this stigma and this taboo around just being able to discuss this type of issue with your doctor, because it truly is a health issue, and it could be signaling that something else is wrong in the body. And that's where I kind of wish that doctors be a little more prying, if you will, to their patients and try to tease this out of them and talk to them about it, because sexual health and everything is a very important part of everybody's relationship, the intimacy, and it's healthy for you too, if practiced and done safely.
Well, the interesting thing, the perplexing thing, I'm guessing, especially for women who are having painful intercourse, is that if a man has a hard time getting erect, and then you fix that for him, and his wife is feeling pain every time they have intercourse, the problem isn't completely solved unless she says something to somebody. And I'm wondering if that pain is from the same thing that would make a guy dysfunctional in that area. Is it the same thing? Is it all hormonal? Is it lubricating? What is it?
I don't mean this facetiously, but women are a little more complex as a species in many different ways. And the first and foremost, women have all these different hormones going on inside. They've got estrogen, they got progesterone, they have their thyroid that affects them a lot. I kind of look at their hormones like a symphony, and each of their hormones is an instrument. And if they've all got to be in unison and in sync to make that piece play and that song play correctly. Men are a little bit, we have a couple hormones that affect us, but women, they have a few more that get added in there. And so, yes, it can affect them. It is hormonal. It could be psychological. It could be emotional. It could be some sort of physical problem down there as well. But the goal is to be able to talk to your patients and find out from them what's bothering you, from a psychological, emotional, and a physical standpoint, and then treat the root cause of it. And yeah, like you said, hormones do play a huge factor, because we do tend to see painful intercourse increase as women get older, but while they're getting older, their hormones are decreasing at the same time. So being able to check all that and put it into balance and being able to restore that safely is the key to helping them regain their function and their libido.
You mentioned one time about, and the best way I could re-say what you said was something about like a Tic Tac sized pill that you embed under the skin in the lower back?
Correct. Well, it's what we call pellet therapy. Yes, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. And you hear about these women getting their estrogen creams that they got to put on all the time, or their testosterone creams they got to smear it on themselves twice a day, for them to feel good. And it becomes cumbersome. You don't know how much is being absorbed. We have a new kind of a new method called pellet therapy, where we just surgically implant it. I shouldn't even say it's surgical. I mean, it's minor procedure. I just make a nick in the skin and place this little pellet Tic Tac right under the skin into the fat, and you get a steady release of constant hormones 24/7 for about 5 to 6 months. and there's no creams involved. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and they're set.
Wow.
And furthermore, I can dose it correctly. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, and talk about dosing it correctly, because that sounds like you have to study each individual patient to find out what their needs are, correct?
Correct, and that's what I don't like about a lot of the ways doctors treat things now, is that, you know, there's a one-size-fits-all approach that they take with their patients and everybody, but not everybody's the same and going to get the same dosing, and it's all dependent on their hormone levels, the patient's weight, how they feel, and all these things got to be kind of in balance, rather than just saying, okay, you know what, here's a prescription for this, good luck, hopefully it works, we don't know if it will. I'd like to titrate it, you know, and customize it for the patient directly, so they, you know, if I know their estrogen's low at this level, I'm going to put this much estrogen in there to replace them. Same with their testosterone, with their estrogen, with their thyroid. So we actually really customize it and titrate it to the patient's needs.
When the men and the women come to see you, do you have a consultation first, and then during that consultation, is it hard to get each one to talk about what's bothering them?
Well, the good news is when they come to see me in our clinic, they know what they're there for. We know what they're there for. They've kind of come to they've come to their wits' end that when it comes to being able to talk to this about their doctor, or maybe they just feel like they've been neglected or haven't got the help that they need. And it does start with a very thorough history. I need to know what's your background, what's bothering you, your medical problems, what medications are you on. All these things have to play a factor before we can really devise a plan, the best type of plan for the male or the female. So yeah, all of these things play a factor in determining the patient's best course for their treatment.
Do you know, I've often wondered, when I was much younger, there were a lot of things, in addition to sexual things, that were more vibrant. Let me put it that. I guess that's the best way to say it. So does feeling young, oh gosh, lead to a better sex life, or does a better sex life lead to feeling young? Like, if you improve, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think if you kind of look at it like this, if you feel young, it's going to change your overall lifestyle, and it becomes this good, or this constant positive circle of things just being in motion again. And so if you feel young, you're going to do things like you were before. I mean, after I replace a guy's hormones and his testosterone, sometimes he's like, "Gosh, doc, I feel like I'm 30 again. I can get myself off the couch finally. I have the motivation to go to the gym and be active and spend some time with my wife and you know, go outside and start walking around and exercising." And that becomes a positive impact because it helps the relationship, it helps his health, it helps him feel better, and it just becomes this great you know, positive trend that he gets on. So yes, it does, and I think once you restore that and restore the female as well, you've got these couples that say, you know what, I feel like we're back in our 20s again, and these are, you know, patients in their 60s and 70s.
So I'm guessing a younger man who comes to see you at NuMale Medical Center may have an issue on his own, but I'm guessing an older couple probably should both be coming to see you, because you know, there's a cartoon that comes to mind, and I wish I could remember what the caption said, but it was something to the effect of the woman is going to go kill her husband's doctor because he just fixed his erectile dysfunction problem. She was happy with him not being able to. Yeah, so I'm guessing in that cartoon they probably should have both gone to see the doctor.
Absolutely, and you know, we hear it from both sides, where the woman is the one desiring it more, or the man's the one desiring it more. So it's, like you said, but we treat a lot of males, and I always hear that a lot of times these women are still active and they still want to enjoy their intimacy with their husband, and he just can't, if you get it up, if you will, or perform. Yeah. And it's not really about the performance, it's about being able to function correctly. And so, yeah, it's this whole lifestyle change that both of them go through. And we encourage both of them to come in so we can discuss the problem with them and find out, is it his issues? Is it your issue? I mean, it could be a multitude of things.
Right. And again, I mean, just comparing it to other body parts, we have a difficult time talking about our sexual body parts. It just seems to be the way it is. We need to take a little break. Dr. Christopher Asandra is on the phone. If this is too sensitive a topic for you to call in about, we understand, but I sure wish you would call in. If you have something that you want to have an answer to, we will do our best to try to ask the questions that you're not asking. But the other part of this is that you can call the NuMale Medical Center down in the Villages. You can go visit them. This is not a doctor like 1,000 miles away or 100 miles away.
Exactly.
He's right here in the Villages. So let's take a little break. Dr. Christopher Asandra will continue talking to us when we come back from NuMale Medical Center. I see a phone call coming in, so thank you for calling in. We'll take that call after the break, and the break will be right now. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident for today. Clouds and limited sun with a couple of showers and thunderstorms around. High 84 to 88. Partly cloudy tonight with a shower and thunderstorm in the area, mainly early. Low 68 inland, 73 at the coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a thunderstorm around during the late morning and afternoon hours. The high 86 to 90. For Saturday, times of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm likely, especially in the afternoon. The high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at NuMale Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. NuMale treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. NuMale will help you.
Call NuMale Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Thank you. 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. I don't know if that was by design or just a coincidence, but Dr. Christopher Asandra is on the phone from NuMale Medical Center. And if you have a question, somebody was on the line, but they bailed out. So call in if you want to be on the line. The number here is 622-9622. The lady who was on before you was talking, and she kind of had an interesting observation that we are so embarrassed to talk about our sexual issues that people in Newark, New Jersey, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania have different words that they use to describe their body parts than women in the South. I just think that. Do you have that same? It's kind of like a funny observation, I guess. But do you have the same thing?
You know, it's funny because I travel all over the United States talking to different guys about this and women about this, and yeah, everybody kind of does refer to it as a different slang or terminology, and I kind of get to get myself updated in the personal dictionary of what they call it.
All right, let's go to the phone. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Dr. Asandra.
You mean you can't call me Johnson? Okay, so here's my question. The test, are they blood tests, urine tests, hair tests? What kind of tests are made to determine what a patient needs?
Yeah, good question.
You know, that's interesting. It's a great question because it's not just one type of test. We check the blood work, we check their testosterone, we check their guy's estrogen even, his prostate levels, and then we do an ultrasound on the blood flow of the actual penile tissue of the penis and see how the blood's moving down there. So you've got all these different types of tests that are involved here to devise the best treatment plan for them. Along with that, we may do a little sensitivity test on there as well, a physical exam to determine what's causing it and see if there's any abnormalities. But basically, there's a lot of blood work involved. There's some blood work. There's some, we checked even their sugars. Make sure that you're not diabetic. I have a lot of guys who didn't know they stopped functioning because, lo and behold, we found out they were diabetic. We do a multitude of tests there, and that's the difference between just, speaking to your regular doctor and saying, here's a prescription for Viagra or testosterone, good luck. So we want to customize it for the patient.
All right. Thank you.
So from the time a guy walks in to the time you actually have some kind of something you can talk about, is that like 30 days?
I'm sorry, is that a what?
I think he said,
from the time you walk in and start the blood test to start all, is that like 30 days before you come to any kind of conclusion?
Absolutely not. Our tests are done in the office, and we get that blood work back in about half an hour.
Wow.
So we'll devise a treatment plan for you. Yep. Before you even leave the office, then we have our own in-house lab that we test for. We're certified by the state, and we can get those blood test results in about half an hour. And our doctors can say, this is what you need. These are your levels. You're low here. You're high here, and let's get a treatment plan going and initiate treatment that day.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the questions. We have another
You're
phone.
welcome. Thank you.
Another phone call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling.
Yes, thank you. If you have a family history of prostate cancer, is it dangerous for you to increase your triglyceride levels?
It can be, and if you've had a history of prostate cancer yourself, we tend to recommend getting clearance from your regular doctor or your urologist first. Or if you've been cancer-free for 5 to 10 years, you've had negative biopsies since then, you're doing well, your urologist says it's okay, we can initiate treatment with testosterone. However, if you just have a family history, we will monitor your prostate levels as you're on the treatment to make sure that you don't spike up. A lot of times, guys who didn't know they had prostate cancer, by giving them testosterone, their prostate becomes sensitive to it, and their PSA, which is a prostate level, would bump up. And then we said, you know what, time to go see a urologist, and lo and behold, we actually diagnosed them, or they diagnosed them with prostate cancer or some sort of prostate abnormality. So yes, we tend to say, get clearance from your doctor, get clearance from your urologist if you have or have had prostate cancer. But if you've just had a family history, that's not really a contraindication to begin testosterone therapy.
Thank you.
All right, good questions. Any other questions, you can call in right now, 622-9622. If you're okay with calling on the air, we won't know who you are, but you can ask the question. We can all learn from the question. And ladies, feel free to call as well. The NuMale Medical Center down in the Villages does treat ladies as well as men, so just so you know that. Can we walk into your office? Do we have to make an appointment? How does that work?
Oh, yeah, we encourage you to call, but hey, if you want to stop by the office and set up an appointment then and there and meet the staff, we're more than happy to, greet and meet you, and we can get you started. If there's doesn't happen to be a patient schedule at that time, we could probably see you right away.
Let me just tell the address real quickly, and correct me if it's wrong. It's 8640 East County Road 466 in the Villages, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
If this is a profession that the seniors in high school are looking at becoming in the medical field and in this particular area, are they able to come down and shadow you for a day or two just to make sure that they can see the inner workings?
Yeah, it's one of those things that we take a lot of students in, like from medical colleges or medical assistant colleges, et cetera. If it's something they'd like to shadow with us, we could definitely try to make an arrangement, have us meet the doctor first and everything, and try to arrange something. I think it'd be a great thing to get people exposed to this right away.
What would cause dry orgasm?
You mean with a man or a female?
A man.
Well, with the man, they could have it could be many different things. It could be a prostate problem. If they're unable to ejaculate, they could have a blockage somewhere. If they're able to get an erection, I get that a lot. A lot of guys can get the erection, but they can't ejaculate. Something else may be going on, and that's when we usually recommend them to go to your urologist and say, you know what, maybe it's your prostate, maybe it's something else. It's probably something you should have investigated by a specialist that deals with that area.
Okay.
What's wonderful about speaking with you, doctor, is that you don't just work with the mechanics of the human body. You also work with the emotional well-being, and that's to be commended.
correct, and that's the goal here is really getting these people on track with their lifestyle, their overall well-being, getting them healthy again. A lot of our patients, when they start getting more active again, not just with their their sex life, but with once we replace their testosterone and hormones, they start losing weight a lot too. A lot of my patients lose a significant amount of weight. They're able to lower their diabetic meds or get off their high blood pressure meds. It's great. It really affects the individual overall.
Well, and as your ad says, the person speaking in the ad, that he felt better. It wasn't just about sexual health; it was his overall health that improved. And I'm guessing that goes along. I mean, it's kind of like, I love the metaphor you used about the orchestra, where everything was working together. Whether it's the female body or the male body, if it's all working together, and I guess that's how we're designed. I guess as we get older, we misfire and things just go haywire. So to put them back, to tune them up again, to continue the metaphor, obviously that would make you feel better overall.
Yeah, it really does. And just having one of those hormones out of whack or out of balance can really affect everything else. I mean, imagine that your favorite band playing and one instrument's just off key or not in sync. It's going to throw off everything else. So it's important that we just investigate every single hormone whatever it may be, and then being able to balance all that and correct that imbalance if there is one.
Well, there have been great strides made in heart surgery over the past couple of decades, but now if a person needs to have surgery on their heart, they might be a little leery about doing the sexual act. Do you help with that also?
We always advise, there was an article that just came out saying, I believe it was in ABC News, that about, sex is actually healthy for your heart. Now, you don't want to overdo it or anything, but, it's always important to ask your regular doctor, your cardiologist, whoever's managing your heart, to say, is it okay if I resume mild to moderate activity again? I say, if you're able to walk, briskly walk or jog, I think you're okay to, resume your sex life again as well.
It's kind of an uncomfortable topic even for us as radio hosts, but we understand the importance of getting the word out about this important topic. And so bottom line is, in the privacy of a doctor's office, you probably will still feel reluctant to talk about it. But keep in mind that the folks at NuMale Medical Center talk about this is their job. This is what they do.
Exactly.
So let's give you the information you need to know. The phone number that I have, Doctor, is 352-404-4779. Is that the best number?
That's the best number, or you can just visit our website at NuMale.com, and there's a 1-866 or 1-800 number that they can call as well. But for a local number, that is correct.
Okay, NuMale.com?
NuMale.com, NuMale.com.
Oh, yeah. Remember to spell N-U, not N-E-W. So N-U, male.
Or G-N-U.
What's that?
Or G-N-U, right? For GNU.
Yeah.
The animal.
Yeah.
I tried.
Don't confuse me anymore.
It didn't work.
Don't confuse me anymore.
I can't make jokes.
Okay, so and of course you can go visit the office in the Villages at 8640 East County Road 466, and just say hello to Dr. Asandra. And Justin Pulliam, I haven't heard from him in a while. Is he still down there?
He's still visiting there once in a while. He tends to stop in once in a while and say hi.
Oh, okay. Well, Doctor, we hope you stop into our studios one day and do one of these segments with us here in person. We could get you on the videotape that way, and people can share it. And by the way, speaking of that, this conversation, even though Dr. Asandra isn't on the video, you see the top of my head and Robin's pretty face, you will still be able to share the information that Dr. Asandra has shared with us by sharing the video. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, guys. Be well.
All right, we will take a break. Be right back.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Lillian Wu. History being made on Capitol Hill as the Pope becomes the first ever to address a joint meeting of Congress.
I am happy that America continues to be, for many, a land of dreams.
Pope Francis telling his audience, made up of Supreme Court justices, cabinet officials, and